Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DiChiara, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Metro Manila for another segment of Learn to Earn business, tax, and marketing strategies from me. Okay, so who am I? I am an entrepreneur in a CPA suit. Actually, I'm not even in a suit, but that's how I describe myself. I was born to be an entrepreneur. If you were born to be an entrepreneur, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So somebody asked at our last event, our last amazing Jumpstart event, how do I know if I'm an entrepreneur? And it's pretty simple. If you're working in a job, okay, a job is where you get paid on a regular basis. Okay, it could be, you could be a remote worker, or you could actually have to go to a brick and mortar place. If when you go to that job, you feel like a fish out of water, okay, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you could be doing this business better than the owner, you're probably an entrepreneur. Now, I had a friend learn to play with Mrs. A, one of the smartest people I ever met in my life. She was actually a kindergarten teacher, but she really had a high IQ. Also, she was an adorable woman. She was funny. Uh, and she was like everybody's grandmother. Okay. I asked her one day, I said, Mrs. A, how young can you start determining, like, what kind of career is my child going to have? And she said, very, very young, very, very young. Okay, so I'm not going to give you uh, the exact age, but she said, listen, if the child is always drawing, they probably have a creative mind. If you get the children that are building stuff, chances are they're going to be building stuff when they get older. So what I did when I was 10 years old was I ran a casino in my driveway. 10 years old, 1970. I made a couple of bucks. More importantly, I had fun. Not only did I have fun, but all of my fellow young gamblers had fun. And I remember asking my mother, why do people get a job? Why do people get a job when they can just make money in their driveway? And her answer was, I don't know. I don't know. Meanwhile, my mom was an entrepreneur. She's still an entrepreneur, 84 years old. She's got an Etsy store. If you go to Sudoku.com, you can buy some of her stuff that's all handmade with love. So, how did I become a CPA? Because my father tricked me into it. He told me that CPAs ran businesses and other business owners come to them for advice. I didn't know that meant I was going to be an accountant. He told me this when I was 17. And then I resented my father for a long time because I felt like a fish out of water. Anyway, I wound up with a lot of different types of experience, from accounting, tax problem resolutions, and yes, marketing. Like I said, I'm an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs need to bring in money. You need two things to have a viable business. One is sales. If you don't have something that people are going to pay money for, you don't have a business. All you have are expenses. Number two, you need cash flow. Your expenses have to be less than your revenue. Makes sense? Yeah. So So that's who I am, my background, and what this is. Learn to Earn is quick tips in less than 15 minutes. Okay, so we're already at almost 6 minutes, so I better get on with today's topic. Today's topic is another area where I am an expert. Okay, what makes me an expert? Because I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. And what we're going to talk about today is IRS installment agreements. So if you're in the United States, you're probably hearing radio ads once or twice a day, if you listen to the radio, about these tax resolution firms. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better beware. You better beware, because a lot of them just take people's money and never do anything. Okay. Uh, if you owe, and they target people that owe more than $10,000. What if you owe less than $10,000 and you don't have the money to pay? It's really pretty simple. That anything that you got to do with the IRS isn't easy, but it's simple. Before I go on, I'd like to invite you to, if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, just give me a hashtag replay. I'd also like to invite anybody to book a free chat with me. Just mention that you saw me on the Learn to Earn video. Okay. I love talking about business. If you want information about relationships or raising children, don't waste our time. Okay. So let's get back to, okay, you owe the IRS less than $10,000. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go to irs.gov, irs.gov. I put the link here, and you're going to create your own account. Create your own account. What does that mean? Now you can create an account with the IRS for your personal taxes and for your business taxes. In that account, you could see all of the activity, how much you owe, if you haven't filed returns, everything. Now, to make any installment agreement, you have to be in compliance. That means all of your tax returns need to be filed. Even if you owe money, you have to file them. You're not going to make an installment agreement if you don't have all your returns filed. So this is where you can see exactly how much you owe. And so because the IRS is actually a moving target, they keep changing things. They change their website. Someplace in your account, there's going to be the opportunity to just click a button and make an installment agreement. Okay, for $10,000 or less, you don't even have to talk to anybody. You don't have to submit any documents. Okay, and you can make an installment agreement. Now they have parameters. Usually they want to be paid in 3 years or less. Okay, so that's how you make an installment agreement for $10,000 or less. Right now I'm showing our website, so I invite you to visit our website, and you'll see. Don't ever fear the IRS again. Don't fear an IRS audit. Okay, so what if you owe more than $10,000? Okay, now this is going to take some forms. You're going to have to fill out financial disclosure forms. Now it depends on if you have a business or you're just an individual. So the forms are 433A for individuals and 433B for businesses. Now, if you have a business, you're going to have to fill out both. Okay. I'm I'm putting it in the chat, but I'm also getting some error messages. So I don't know what that's all about. So it's 433A for individuals, 433B for businesses. Now they're going to want financial information. They're going to ask you for bank statements. They're going to ask you things like, do you have a job? When do you get paid? And again, they will want you to create an installment agreement that's going to be paid in 3 years or less. Now, if you can't do that, you're going to have to talk to somebody there. If you have some kind of situation, they will work with you. Believe it or not, the IRS wants you in the system. That's the whole IRS purpose now. They want to make it easy for people to file and pay their taxes. You're like a bad debt if you don't have an agreement with them. Now, what you want to do is you want to make an agreement for the lowest amount possible. So if you qualify to pay $250 a month, don't make an agreement for $1,000 a month. Don't make an agreement for more than what the minimum is. Why? Let's say 1 month you don't have $1,000. If you don't make the payment, you're going to be in default. You can always pay extra. So let's say 1 month you have a good month and you have an extra $1,500. All you got to do is go to the IRS site and make a payment. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. If you want more information, if you owe any taxes, book a chat with me. I'd be more than happy to give you some guidance. No obligation. I'm not a salesperson. I'm just here really to help people. Again, today's topic is IRS installment agreements. I know that there are millions of people that owe the IRS. There's also millions of people that haven't filed returns. And usually people don't file returns for 2 reasons. Number 1 is fear, and number 2 is they can't find somebody to actually guide them. And I'm here to guide people. All right, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. We're at about 14 minutes, so I fulfilled my promise. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to book a chat with me. And I just want to say God bless. Hopefully you don't owe money, but you might know somebody that owes the IRS money. So one of our core values, one of my favorite quotes is serve first. That's what Bedrock is here for, to serve you, the client, the taxpayer. Okay? Signing off from downtown Metro Manila, Joe DiChiara, CPA. Thank you and God bless.